Alright, so what I'm going to be doing in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I became a NASCAR fan. And this is a challenge that was put out by JB over at JB Racing News Reviews. Put this out to anybody that's a NASCAR fan just to get on here and talk about how they became a NASCAR fan. So I'm going to try to keep this, not too long. But there's a little bit to tell, some good information here. I didn't have a driver until I was maybe 13 or 14 years old. It was kind of, I had guys that I liked, and guys that I didn't like. Early on, my dad always tried to get me, involved with cars and stuff like that. If he was doing something on one of our cars, he'd come grab me and have me help him some kind of way. Grab me that tool, teaching me tools and the differences between them and, flathead, Phillips, the differences. So I knew what was what from an early age. Anytime there was monster trucks, demolition derbies, stuff like that in town, he would take me. Normally it was a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We would go on Friday because he's like, what if these guys get torn up, son? They don't have a backup. They got to hurry up and fix it. So we would always go Friday night. That way we got to see everybody, The bodies on the monster trucks were still there. So, just something we kind of did it that way. It was at a local fairgrounds where we went to all these little monster truck and tractor pull events. And after a few years, it got shut down because it was maybe not even a mile from our house, walking distance. And it wasn't nothing but an old fairground, and where we had our fair every year. And it was where they did the livestock. There was in the little rodeo that they would put on. So you gotta, you imagine a tin roof with open to the air, just pillars, roof supports, and doing tractor pulls in this thing. And it would just vibrate, man. I'm talking, you could hear it a mile away without a doubt. So I could hear it clearly from our house on Sundays, sitting at home. But anyway, that was a blast. Shame it got shut down after a while. But anyway, we would go to the local dirt track and started to love racing from there, and it really started to grow on me. And about junior high is when NASCAR really took off for me. And probably got to be one of the greatest rivalries in sports, period. And especially NASCAR. So, like I say, I had guys I pulled for. Around 8 years old, I was pulling for Richard Petty. Didn't understand the guy was at the end of his days, in racing. 50 years old, 1988, Daytona 500, 50-year-old Richard Petty crashes, goes up into the fence. I remember watching this race like it was yesterday. I can remember my dad, come see. I was off doing something else, as kids do, and just a horrible crash. You can go on YouTube, check that out. 1988 Daytona 500, Richard Petty crash. Horrible crash. And 50 years old in that race. So around the age of 9 years old, there was a car that came out that just, and I already liked him before this, but when the Tide Ride came out for Darrell Waltrip, that something about that car, I think it was the brightness of that orange and that white, it just popped, it caught my eye. I was already a kid that liked Darrell Waltrip. My dad was somebody that liked Darrell Waltrip. Was not a Dale Earnhardt fan at all. Straight up said that he wasn't nothing but a dirty driver, and he was to a great extent. I know rubbing's racing and all that, but forget the rubbing. He was the type to just straight up put you in the wall if that's what it took. But so 1989, Darrell Waltrip wins the '89 Daytona 500 in that Tide ride, doing the Icky Shuffle, in in Victory Lane. That was awesome to see, and I got a lot of memories of that race. Around the age of 10, 1990 is when the movie Days of Thunder came out. I followed Kyle Petty, believe it or not, for a very short amount of time. Taking nothing away from Kyle. Kyle had some good runs here and there. Number 42, that mellow yellow that he ran, that was a really cool looking car. Little spin-off from Cole Trickle of the movie Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. So I thought that was a pretty cool car. Really just didn't have a driver. I had cars that I liked and guys that I respected. Respected Bill Elliott. Same thing with Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte, Harry Gant, guys like that. Davey Allison later on. A shame what happened to him. So, around the age of 14, there was a rookie that came out by the name of Jeff Gordon, and got his first win at the Coca-Cola 600 in 1994, and it was the DuPont colors, his racing style, Dale Earnhardt giving him crap all the time, and me wanting to see that kid, that young guy, beat Dale Earnhardt, and he ended up doing that, and a lot of times. Got a lot of wins. So had an awesome team, the Rainbow Warriors. Everybody knows, everybody remembers. Huge rivalry sparked up between him and Earnhardt. Probably one of the, I don't know if it'll ever be matched again in NASCAR. It was huge rivalry. Everybody knows how great it was. 1999, Earnhardt crashes Terry Labonte at the Bristol night race. Dale was booed like I've never seen anybody booed before in Victory Lane after that race. This was, you can go on YouTube and check that out. 1999, Earnhardt crashes Terry Labonte at Bristol. Earnhardt was booed. I can remember being younger and just so mad that that happened to Terry, because being from Texas, the Labonte brothers, they were somebody that I, still respect to this day, but somebody that I pulled for. So whenever Jeff wasn't up there, leading or whatever. 95, 97, 98, and 2001 championships for Jeff Gordon. 1999, Ray Evernham leaves Hendrick. That's one of the things that if Ray had stayed with that team, who knows what could have happened. Jeff went on to have an outstanding career, as we all know, one of the all-time leading, winningest drivers. So yeah, I was a big Gordon fan. A couple points. Jeff gets his win number 76 and ties Dale Earnhardt. Wins at Phoenix. Carries the number 3 flag around the track, tying Dale. Aaron's 499 in 2007. Gets win number 77 and moves ahead of Dale in all-time wins. At this point, 6th all-time with 77 wins. A lot of trash was thrown at him and stuff like that. I think fans still respected Gordon after Dale passed away. They kind of sided with Dale Jr. once he came into the mix. I really feel bad for Dale Jr. With Teresa Earnhardt and just everything that he dealt with. His dad's death definitely had an effect on him, but for me, it was Jeff Gordon, just his whole career, and everything that he was able to accomplish. just an outstanding career, a lot of wins. I honestly feel like there's no other driver that suffered from the birth of the chase more than Jeff Gordon. I do honestly believe that he would have more championships under his belt if not for that. But you know, not gonna cry over spilt milk. Everybody had to. Everybody that was racing at that time had to adapt to the new rules, and I think one of the problems is what it continues to be, is that they kind of make rules as they go along. Let's tweak this. Let's tweak that. Things of that sort. So everybody has to live with the same rules regardless. So outstanding career nonetheless, but that's how I got into it. My dad was always watching racing, just for as long as I can remember. So after Jeff retired, the 24 was handed over to Chase Elliott. Ran that car for a year, moved on to the number 9, which is a family number, so I totally respected that, and I stuck with the kid. I think his best days are ahead. Chase Elliott is young, just a solid performer, got a pretty good team. The only thing that I pray that because he is young, that he doesn't get into anything outside of racing that would affect his racing career. Get with the wrong woman. You guys know what I'm talking about. Get with the wrong woman, and she takes him for his money. You know, kind of like Jeff Gordon, his ex-wife, man, she ran him through the ringer. So, just one of those things. As long as he stays straight and flies right, and but he's got a lot of good people around him. Got to look, Jeff Gordon as a mentor, his dad, just a lot of good people. So hopefully he keeps his personal life, focused and keeps his mind where it needs to be, and goes on to have a really great career. And like I say, I think his best days are ahead. Got a lot of your older talent that's going to go out, a lot of younger talent coming in. So he's going to have a little bit of experience edge over some of these guys at some point, a lot of these young drivers. So, he's got a lot of years ahead of him. So yeah, I pull for Chase Elliott now. That is my driver, and just hoping he has a great career from here on out. So got 4 wins under his belt already. Having a rocky go at it right now with 1 win on the season in the playoffs, but these past few races have been tough for him. So yeah, Jeff Gordon, and on to Chase Elliott. That's who I pull for now. So challenge anybody, as JB did. If you're a NASCAR fan, get on here. Tell us your story. How did you get into NASCAR? How did you become a fan? So if you like this video, share it. As always, subscribe by clicking on the bell to the right to be notified of all my future videos. I do a live stream. My next one coming up Saturday night, actually. You guys can join me for that, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can join me on here for that. We can chat some NASCAR. But you guys take it easy. Take care. And we've got a race coming up Sunday. Should be hopefully a pretty good one. We'll see what happens. Pocono coming up. Hopefully it's a little bit better of a race than the first go here back in June. So we'll see what happens. You guys take it easy.